Hey, how's everyone doing? So I decided to go ahead and try the Husbandry Pro, and that way I can give a non-biased opinion on it. And I've used others in the past. I've used the DeGuy and the Reptiscan, and yeah, I've seen others and just didn't like them. And so I wanted to give a first-hand opinion on this, what I thought. So I didn't add everything. I only added a couple hundred animals just so I could play with it and see what things I liked, things I didn't like, and basically just go from there. So all right, let's jump right in and I'll show you what I've done so far, and you guys can tell me what you think and if you guys decide you want to buy it or not. Okay, getting started here with Husbandry Pro. So as you can see, I have nothing on the dashboard, just a whole bunch of sad faces. Let's see, so you go to animals and list. So one thing that kind of bugs me, and they might have a way to fix it, it's probably really simple. It's probably already in there and I just don't know how to change it, but I've looked and I can't find it. So I went ahead and I ended up changing all my animal IDs to ball python female 1, and then I have for ball python male, then I have, if it's a lone, I put an L at the back and then the number, whatever it is. So I had to change the way I record my animals a little bit, and I'll still play with that. But so the one thing I didn't like is, you can see it goes to ball python female 1, the next number is 10, 11, 12, 13, and I got 133 in here because it has a 3 involved. So you can tell I don't even have number 2 on here. So basically anything with the 1 is going to come before number 2. And to me, that's just kind of tough because I like to see them. I have them in a certain order for a reason. And so now let's just say if I'm at ball python female number 3. So it's going to have 3, and then underneath that I'll have 30, then 31 to 39, then it will have 300 all the way to 399 before I can get to number 4. So one nice thing about this is I can just put in 2 and it's going to put me to number 2. But I honestly would rather see it actually going in numerical order over just doing it the way it does it. All right, so let's go back here. So let me show you this one here, Pastel Inchy Lesser Calico Female. So this is one I've used. That was the first one I put in, so it's kind of a dummy one for me. So over here you can do, if you want to just do quick things, you can do your post activities, any of this stuff here, follicles, shed, reproduction, weight, pairing. I use this more for the weight, pairing, copulation, and reproduction. Sheds I may put in there, I haven't yet. I have done the development of follicles, but it's pretty much the only things I'd use. I don't really care when they eat or go to the bathroom or anything like that. It's just nothing I record. All right, let's see. So go back over here. We'll go to this female. Okay, so this has the photo in there. I realized that I'm gonna have to watch with my camera how I take pictures because it rotated it. So I either need to rotate it before I add it or just turn my camera the other way. Notes, I have nothing for this female. So activities. So I put a couple weights, couple follicle size, and then I did a couple pairings. And So you can tell like this, the pairing on the 18th and then the 19th weren't real pairings. I've actually never paired this pair and I don't plan on it, but I'll go back and I'll show you later the reason why I did this. So it does, you can go through, tell you the animal type, the ID, the animal name, sex, the descriptor. So the only difference I'll ever have really between the name and the descriptor is in the name I'll add, if I have multiple, it'll say number 1 or number 2, whatever that one is of this animal. And then this one, okay, that's weird. I hadn't seen this before, so I actually have to click view to see the genetics. Yeah, that's new, never seen that. So you can see where you bought it from, date of birth, what was in it, the feeder items. And so the feeder item, it's pretty cool if you buy frozen thawed. So I won't use it because I pretty much produce all my own rats, and then I'll freeze anything I need to, so I'll have my own frozen, and I have my rat breeder if I run out. So I'm not going to use it. I can't see adding in the weights and how much I paid for them. And like I said, for the person who buys bulk quantity of feeders frozen, then it's really good for that. But like I said, I don't record feedings. I have my clips that tell me when they've eaten. You know, I've had a snake not eat for about 8-9 months, and I know my snakes. I mean, most people that spend time with their animals, they know them. So I don't record that. And as far as when they go to the bathroom, I've never gone to a vet and had them say, okay, well, 2 years ago, how was it taking a crap? Like, I don't know. It's kind of pointless to me. Some people love it, and that's great. More power to them. I don't have the time to be that anal about it. You can put down if it's for sale or not, and it's active. And then over here on the side, it shows a couple things: last weight, last 5 activities. And then you once again can go to post an activity. This is if you want to do the QR code for it. I have not done QR codes, just, I don't know. We'll see if I'm going to later or not. I did get the Reptiscan or whatever it's called, and my big thing is it's just one of my little pet peeves. I don't want plastic sleeves on the tubs, because when I wash them, I want to wash the tub and let it dry, not have to worry about some little sleeve on it. So so they are working on different things for printing them. If they ever end up getting them on a little like 1-inch or 2-inch, the stickies, then maybe I'll do something like that. And you can edit the animal in case, like, I've gone through and put down the ball python female for the animal ID. So they're all in capital letters. I did one where it's in lowercase, and it just OCD. I had to go back and change it. This will let you go ahead and change it. This will just get you to the next animal. Alright, going back here. So yeah, on this screen, oh, the other nice thing is this automatically defaulted down to 20. So it's nice. I like to see 100 at a time. I don't feel like going page by page by page. I do the same thing, a morph, market, anything. I just want to see the maximum number as I can so I can scroll. So that does work better for me. Let's see, so we already did all this. The racks and cages, I don't use it. And the only reason I don't use mine, for the most part, most of my things stay in the same tub. And my breeder females, I'll move those around, because as I get ones that are getting closer to laying, I'll move them down to where they're at eye level, so that when they do lay, I can grab them, grab the eggs, everything's right by my shelf, and there's less movement of them. and I'll move the ones to the top that aren't nowhere near laying, because I really don't want to just have to worry about trying to get eggs up on a ladder, and it just, yeah. So great for some people, not for me. Feeders, already discussed that. It would work good for people doing frozen and having to keep their orders straight, what they have in their inventory. Incubation. Okay, so this is one I used that I liked. So it's nice, I can keep my clutch numbers, and you can see here's one, I lowercase, I got to go back and change that. But it's nice. Total eggs, viable eggs, bad eggs, hatch date. Total eggs weight, I don't weigh them. I don't care what they weigh. It's not going to change what they are inside. Weighing them does absolutely nothing other than tell me what they weighed. Once again, some people love doing it. More power to them. I'm not going to hate on people. It's, to me, one extra thing I don't need to do. I'll weigh the female mainly so that I can watch her progression and make sure once she starts eating again that she's recovering and back on track. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. I liked that. Let's see. So breeder loan. Now this is one area that I did have an issue with, is so I changed mine, like I said, I put an L at the end if it was on loan. I like the fact I can see what animal it is, sex, the descriptor. Now where I have an issue, like I know that this lace female and this hypo het puzzle female, both of those came from Seth over at Double D Exotics, and I just know that. And the vanilla yellow belly and super pastel mystic trick, firefly, orange dream pin all came from my partner Michael. So I know those because I know my animals, but this doesn't tell me anything. I don't know how that number was generated. I don't know where it came from. I'm not sure. So the other thing is, when I inputted them, for some reason it had a bug, which I'm sure they probably know about and they're fixing. But when I added Michael, it actually added him 3 times. That's why he's 2902 and 1933. And it had added Seth twice. So I went in and I deleted some, but that means nothing to me. I would really prefer to have the name of either the company or the individual's name. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I like that it has this. Let's see. Now, one thing that I didn't like and I thought was possibly going to be either a deal breaker for me, or even if I decided to stay with it, I would end up wanting to still keep my spreadsheets, because that's what I currently use, is spreadsheets. I did DGuy for many years through the 2000s, and somebody, I don't know how, why, convinced me to name all my snakes, which I was completely against, and I believe I probably got drunk and I named them all. And when I did, it threw everything off. It screwed up everything in the program, pissed me off. I got rid of it, and I went to Excel spreadsheets, and that's what I've been using ever since. So with this, I was kind of like, I'm going to have to keep my spreadsheet for my my plan for the year, what I was going to be pairing. And then once I opened my eyes, it's right there. So I was all frustrated for nothing. Mainly because I love this. This right here alone is worth getting it to me. So you can get your seasons, and instead of having to go through all these different hard to follow tabs or anything, it'll get your season. You just go over here and view your season. Now, what I did here, so this is the Hypo Yellow Belly Het Puzzle male, and I did pair him to a Puzzle Het Hypo. I did that on 317, and I saw a lock on 318. So then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, how's it going to appear if I have multiple? So my dummy animal that I used, again, I can't say dummy animal, she does exist, just the information I've used for her isn't accurate. I'll be changing it. So I went ahead and I put down that he paired her, and so there you go, on 318 and then 319. Now the reason I like that so much is in my spreadsheet I have down what I plan on pairing, but I don't mark down when I actually paired them. So sometimes it's easy to not realize that you paired them before you needed to pair it with something else. So an example, this male, the Hypo Puzzle's breeding 6 females. And anyone that's been doing this long enough knows that a male will breed himself to death. And that's just, you really need to keep an eye on the males eating. That's why I put a diffuser by my male rack and try to hide the scent of the females so that they'll stay eating throughout breeding. A lot of mine do. I'm not too worried about them, but there are some. My Pastel Puzzle, I was worried about his first year. So the thing that makes it so nice is I can go ahead and put down with every single female when I paired them, and it will show up here. And then all I have to do is hover over the pairing and it will tell me the date. And then if I saw a visual lock, it's simple, couple clicks, and it will show. Hover over it and you get the dates. So that's huge. That's going to help me when I'm pairing males. Like, I'm about to pair males after I do this video. So it's going to help me know what male to put with what female to make sure that, number one, he's not overbred, and number two, somebody doesn't get missed. So yeah, really, really like that feature. Good job, whoever's idea that was. All right, contacts. So this is the one I was talking about where it added people a couple times and I ended up deleting them. But the one thing I see here that is a glitch is you can see it goes business name, first name, last name, email, city, everything. So all these are pretty simple to change. All you do, come down here, you go to settings, you're going to go table settings, and this works for any of the tables that you have. So animals, incubation, activity table, breeder loan, which we already looked at, feeders, which I'll never use, contacts. So you can see I have business name, first name, last name, phone. So the phone isn't showing up. I have phone numbers in for the contacts. It's not showing up in there. So and then the other thing, email, and then I have address. I believe, if I'm correct, it doesn't have address. It went from email straight to city. So I'm sure that's just a bug. They'll finish that, fix it, and be all good. So just remember, anytime you make any modification to it, save table. Let's see. So on this one, animal ID. Yeah, see, there's nothing really that says how I can get it to go 1, 2, 3, 4 numerically like that instead of doing anything with a 1 first. All right, so we got table settings. Let's go back. So we did contacts. Calendar, honestly, I haven't even opened. I mean, well, let's do it now for the first time. So I guess you can put in here like shows. Be kind of cool. Just, I haven't played with it yet. Users, I haven't played. Commerce, third party, none of those. Yeah, and then just the settings. So yeah, pretty much that's what I've played with. And the one thing that I did ask them was, if you end up, so let's just say you have 60 clutches you plan on having. So you don't have enough animals for the top tier plan, and you're never going to get there. That's 500 animals and you're at 300 animals. So you're going to stay at the one below. So let's just say you have 60 clutches. That's going to bump you up over the 500 if you had them all at once and they didn't sell. But as we go, we're hatching things and we're selling them. So let's say you never get to that $500. So I mean 500 animals. So I asked the question, once the animals go off, once you sell them, does it archive it and it's no longer counts towards your 500, or are you still charged? And it still counts towards your 500. So that means that at some point, if you want to keep the files for your records in case something ever happens down the road and somebody comes back and says, hey, you sold me this het and it wasn't a het, it didn't prove out, you can keep the picture of it to make sure it's the same animal, you can keep the pairings, all that. So you either A, lose it, or B, you go to the top tier. Now, will they come up with a way to back it on a local computer? That would really be nice. I don't know. That's something that they'll have to figure out. So I do believe, though, I want to say not the top level, but the next to top one's like $150, and that's a great price for this. I mean, for all the headaches that it's going to save you, the convenience, everything else, I think it's a good price. So, well, if anyone plays with it and finds any questions they have, let me know. If there's anything you see that I'm not doing that I should, or if you can fix this number problem for me, please let me know. Hope this has helped you guys. Okay, now that you've seen me play with it for a little bit, hopefully you've decided whether you want to give it a shot or not. I like it, and I am going to go ahead and subscribe and keep it. I think it's a really good program, and it's going to help me out a lot. So I know no matter what your level, small or big, there's going to be something in there that's going to be really convenient for you. I know people have talked about it and said, oh, Billy's part of it and he's going to be able to look at your animals, and that's just shit. Like, for anyone who thinks that Billy cares what you have, yeah, he is a partner in it, because I hate to tell people, but that's what Billy does for his living. And so, yeah, I can't see if somebody walks up to you and says, hey, look, I got this great stock. Do you want to make a whole bunch of money? And they say, no. It's what I do, but no, I don't want to. I have enough money. So, yeah, don't worry about that. That's just ignorant talk. I mean, anyone that thinks he cares, or Justin cares, or, Oz cares, they don't. So, yeah, I definitely recommend it. Give it a shot. It's got the free version, and I honestly think this is the best one I've seen so far. So I will be using it. If you guys have any questions on my experience with it, anything I've noticed or haven't, hit me up, let me know, and I'll tell you, maybe I might have figured it out and can help you, or if you figure out something you saw I was struggling with, like those numbers, please let me know. All right, well, thanks for watching.